I am Star Wars documented. It is me in the flesh. I am here. This skin is real, believe it or not. And I have come to return. I am returning back to YouTube. I'm coming back, baby. Yeah, I'm coming. I'm here. I'm making content again. But I want to explain what this video is about. We're going to be talking about Skeleton Crew, and we're going to do it a little differently this time because it is like 11:45, maybe 11:50 right now, and Skeleton Crew is coming out tomorrow, episode 3. And I haven't done anything for episode 1 and 2 yet. So I'm going to briefly go over episode 1 and 2, and then we're going to cut to 3 and my takes on that, and like little lore stuff which I noticed, and interesting stuff like that. But first I want to tell you where have I been? And to be honest, I haven't been anywhere. I've just been busy, and I really wasn't enjoying the content which I was creating towards the end. I don't like being a face behind a screen. I am a person. I am a person. Okay, I'm a person. I feel like I should clarify that. And so I took a break. I took a hiatus, as you can tell, and now I've come back. I've come back to be a person. I've come back to create content in a different way, and I'm excited to go on this journey with you. Obviously, if you'll have me. But yes, that's where I've been. So let's get into why you're actually here. Not my backstory. So let's talk about Skeleton Crew. And we're going to divide this up into stuff which I like and stuff which annoys me. And honestly, I'm really enjoying this show. I think it's a really fun take on Star Wars. It's fun to see something which is outside of the normal universe. You know, it's fun to see something which isn't all big space battles, just a goofy adventure. I'm really enjoying that. But stuff which I don't like is, well, there's this one thing which is kind of annoyed me, and I see a lot of creators talking about it, which is that Neil and Max Rebo are not the same species. They're not the same species, okay? They're not the same. So, Max Rebo is an Ortolan. Hope I said that right. I'm sure the comments will flame me if I did not. And the creators have said, Neil and Max, they aren't the same. They've said that in interviews. It's been talked about before, but people just haven't done their research. I don't know. I'm just trying to tell the truth. The other thing which is kind of weird is like the neighborhood and the cars. I can't tell. The neighborhood, I kind of love it, but the cars, it is Autotopia, and sick ride. But I'm not used to it. I can't tell whether I'm gonna love it or I'm gonna hate it. I'm not sure if it's gonna come back again. It's a really interesting concept to be put into Star Wars, so I'm interested to see where that goes. And then the stuff which I like is, I like the way this show handles Star Wars. I think it's really refreshing, it's new, it's different, and I'm enjoying it because it isn't lore-breaking, and also, it is human. You know, even in the neighborhood, that looks like Earth. If you told me that's Earth 50 years into the future. Can't take credit for that, by the way. I believe that was Generation Tech who said that. Great channel. Follow him. That could be convincing, but I don't mind it. I like that it is human, but more importantly, I like the characters, okay? The characters are nostalgic. The characters feel like characters which I know. And they feel like kids, and that's fun, and they feel relatable. They feel interesting, but not terror. I don't know. I'm gonna start speaking in weird Yoda riddles. Interesting they are, but not interesting. Yoda. So yeah, they're fun. It's a fun premise for a show. It's not too deep. And you know, with these kind of Star Wars shows, because they are relatable, because the whole world is kind of relatable, that's really benefiting anybody who's watching this show. Because as you know, Disney has kind of had a problem with the relatability issue. Their characters are not all that relatable. I think I think this is something which I have realized just watching their content. These characters are. And with escapist kind of media that like Star Wars, which is it's all about escaping our own reality, it's important to have characters which are relatable. And these ones are. And that really improves the franchise a lot to me. It makes it a lot better, and it makes me care a lot more about what's going on. And finally, pirates. pirates are so cool, man. I'm so glad that they're doing more with pirates. They haven't done enough with pirates in Star Wars. They've done Empire shit. They've done Rebel shit. But pirates, man, never runs dry. It is so cool. I love how, like, this show, I've seen it be compared to, like, the Goonies, obviously, which is pirates, but I've also seen it being compared to Pirates of the Caribbean and Treasures Island. It's big. It's a big pirate thing, and I love pirates. Pirates are sick, and I'm glad they've included that. So I'm back. I've watched the episode on Tuesday. I changed my clothes. I'm not donning my Jedi robes anymore. If you want me to always wear like a Jedi costume in the video, let me know in the comments. But like, it's kind of a hassle, you know. I gotta putting it all on and everything. So I decided not to. Maybe that's a good idea. Maybe that's what you guys want. I don't know. Maybe I'll just do it for some videos. But for this, I'm just wearing this. So you. But to get into my take, and I just want to apologize first of all if what I'm saying is repetitive. I don't want it to be repetitive, but again, I have filmed this part of the video a lot later than what I filmed the first part. This is, I could have filmed it on Tuesday night. I could have filmed it last night at like midnight, but I've procrastinated. It's now Thursday, but I can film it in the afternoon. So that's the big benefit there. So I decided to go with this option because I didn't want to wreck my sleeping schedule. Thank you very much. But to get into the stuff I didn't like, alright? So for the most part, I enjoyed this episode. Obviously, it's a bit childish. There's a few childish points, but I can look past those. Shows that get me when they're childish is like Bad Batch or something. But this was marketed to be childish. It isn't like terribly cringy or anything. I don't know. It's pretty solid for what it is. The one thing which is really nitpicky, but it annoyed me, is there's this character Kim. I call her the Owl Lady because she looks like an owl. Her office kind of thing, her base, is clearly stagecraft in a few scenes, and it was so obvious that I like picked it out right away, and I was like, that's stagecraft. And that annoys me because that's, you never want your audience taken out of the story, and I was immediately taken out of the story there. So that's not good, but I can look past that because overall this was a good episode, and I hope this is a good start to a good show. I think it will be. I think generally, I don't want to say you can tell by first impressions, but with this show, it's probably going to end up being a good show, which is a bit of a sleeper hit, like kind of like Andor. Maybe a bit less scaled back than Andor, because for Andor, there's like really big Andor fans. Probably myself included, actually. I really enjoyed Andor, but for this show, I don't imagine there'll be as many big fans. Stuff which I really liked is this show's funny. This show knows what it is. I talked about this previously before, so I'm not going to get too into it, but this show really knows that it doesn't have to be too serious. It knows that it's dealing with kids. It knows that it doesn't have the fate of the galaxy on the line. So in that sense, it's a really good show. The comedic beats are good. It doesn't like kill the tension or anything. Sometimes with Disney comedy, it kills the tension of the scene. And it kills what's going on. This show doesn't really do that, which I appreciate. I liked Kim, or the Owl Lady, because I like Star Wars professor characters. We see them throughout the franchise. It's a really fun thing to play with, to me, because A, it shows that there's a lot of lore in Star Wars, and there really is. When you have a character which is a professor, A, it shows that the creator of the show kind of knows what they're talking about when it comes to lore, and B, it is also, to me, just a really interesting character. You know, they aren't smugglers, they aren't bounty hunters, they aren't like part of the scum and villainy, but they aren't part of the Jedi, and they aren't aristocrats either. They're just people who know a lot about Star Wars within the Star Wars franchise. So I really always enjoy those characters, which is why I caught on to Kim a lot. The show is good with lore. There's a lot of really fast things which you got to pay attention to, and you can tell even though the show does have that childlike energy about it, it like children can watch this show. There's still some in there for the deep lore fans. For like a fan who really likes Star Wars, this show still provides, because there's lots of little lines of dialogue where it's like, oh, that's interesting. Oh, that's interesting. A great example of this is like the great works. For example, the Lena So, who is a High Republic kind of character, she created these great works for the Senate and stuff. And this is an old concept. Lena So was chancellor in 234 BBY, so before the Battle of Yavin. She was far away. This is something which High Republic fans are probably very excited about. I've read a bit of the High Republic stuff. It's solid. I wouldn't say it's not like a Darth Plagueis, but it's pretty good. If you like Star Wars, if you are more open to the new Disney stuff, then you'll probably appreciate that more. A lot of older fans, I would imagine, won't like that stuff. But this is a really interesting piece of lore, and I'm glad this is one of the plot points, because this ties in the High Republic, which, if you didn't know, kind of on the sidelines, Disney's been pushing a lot. This ties it in very well, which is what Acolyte probably should have done. But, did they? I don't know. I don't fucking know. I don't think they really did that well. At least not with the lore as much. And then, for theories, I feel like there's a few obvious theories here, which is that the parents are going to go after the kids. That's what's going to happen. This show is kind of predictable. I say this now, and I'm going to be totally off. I could see, what I would find really funny is if the pirate guy and the kids get back just as the parents leave. That could be kind of interesting. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. And I'm looking forward to seeing it, honestly, because it's going to be a very interesting show to watch. It's a very lighthearted show. If you haven't seen it and you're looking for a spoiler-free review, I'm sorry, but that's not what you get here. You get a spoiler review. There's spoilers in this thing, but not too many, I hope. I hope I didn't get so deep where I was giving spoilers left, right, and center. But I would say watch the show. I recommend you watch the show. Stick with the show. This is a more lighthearted show. I feel like it's a show which you aren't going to be as mad at by the end. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed. I hope you enjoyed this video. Obviously, this is a different style of videos than what I normally do. I have a feeling I'm not going to get great views on this video just because it is not really directed at the Star Wars mainstream. I'm not like, oh, Darth Vader did this. It's like, here's the show, which probably only at most 25% of the Star Wars fandom is watching. I hope you guys enjoy it. I hope you guys enjoy my review of it. But I don't know. Maybe this will get good views. Again, spam that like button and subscribe. Oh, please subscribe. I need subscribers, man. I need them. Anyway, have a good one. May the Force be with you always.